pickup truck. It's all over the fucking radio. But there's not one single song about having a glass of water and being responsible and maintaining friendships and relationships. Because that does not sell Dodge trucks. So I struggled for a couple weeks and I tried to write this kind of anthem about sobriety and I just couldn't do it. It escaped me. So I did the second best thing. I did what any kid from the state of North Carolina would do. I made an obscure ACC basketball reference right in the middle of the chorus. To explain to you what that reference was, I went to North Carolina State University, home of the Wolfpack. We are horribly mediocre at everything we have ever attempted to do in the athletic arena.
Go Hogs!
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm preaching to the fucking choir. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yet, we remain the most delusional fan base of all time. I will fight you over next year. Because this year we were bad. But next year, man, we got some seniors coming back, we got a great recruiting class, we're going to be something. I believe that so much, I have a tattoo on my forearm. It's Mr. Wolf, our college mascot, and it just says, wait till next year. Because no matter how good we are, no matter how high we're ranked nationally, there is inevitably a time in the middle of the season where we will crash and burn. I don't know, like maybe a week and a half ago when we were ranked 22 in the country and scored 24 points in a college basketball game. A whole fucking game, 24 points. We set an NCAA record, not the kind of record you want to set, an NCAA record for the lowest field goal percentage ever in an NCAA game. 16%. We were 9 from 57 from the floor. And we were a ranked ACC basketball team playing another ranked ACC and they only scored 40. It looked like a fucking football score. It was 40-24. Needless to say, I just looked down at my arm and said, man, next year's looking good. But my freshman year, I was completely undoctrinated to mediocrity and losing all the time. We invent ways to lose. But in 2003, I was young. I didn't know any better. So I thought, hey, we're ranked 18th in the country. Go State. So I go to a basketball game, February 9th, 2003, with the number 17 team in the country. At that point, we had to play the number 1 team in the country, which is the Duke Blue Devils. Yeah, everybody hates Duke. And we were a 17-point underdog, but somehow, miraculously, we ended up winning. And it was due largely, in part, to a 6'6" shooting guard sophomore, number 24 from Harlem, New York, a consensus 5-star All-American, Mr. Julius Hodge.
Yes! Hodge!
I just took that guy back. Yeah, I just took him down off the shelf and handed him to you, and you are amazed by it. Here's your trinket. Now be quiet and let me tell the story. He had a career game that night. He had 37 points, and we ended up beating the number 1 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils. And the best part about it, we all rushed the court. I was happy. I was like, fuck, I'm a freshman. This is never going to end. We're always going to be good. We'll always score more than 24 points in a game. This is great. And then ESPN runs up to Julius Hodge, and he puts a microphone in front of his faces, which is something you should never do to a professional athlete right in the heat of the moment of winning a ball game.
So they do.
They do not want to talk to anybody. There's so many emotions that run through those kids. You should never put a microphone in one of those kids' faces, especially a 19-year-old kid from Harlem, New York, who had just won the game. And they said, Julius Hodge, how does it feel to be the number 1 team in the country? And he stands there and he stares deep into the camera. You got to remember, this is an ESPN nationally televised game, prime time. He has the nation's ear. He could say something so profound that he brings North Carolina State athletics back into the national consciousness for good. And he takes a moment and he composes himself as much as he could in the moment. And he opens his mouth and he says, when we hungry, we eat.
Remember. Yes.
And that's all he said. He ran to the locker room after that. You can YouTube Julius Hodge, when we hungry, we eat, because it's the most absurd piece of sports trivia ever. But the best part is the last 20 seconds of this video, because it just goes back to the ESPN analyst who is standing there dumbfounded. Well, there you have it, guys. Julius Hodge, when he's hungry, he eats. Back to you guys in the studio. And I thought that was just great. I thought it was so wonderful, and I twisted it around and I made it fit the song. I made it fit the narrative. But I realized once I wrote the song, it would be very unfair for me to not let Julius Hodge know that I'd used what he might as well have been a co-writer. I had to let him know that there was a song up there that used what he said. And so I did what anybody would do when you're trying to get in touch with a professional athlete. I sent him a Twitter message. I said, "Hey Julius, I wrote a song about you. BJ, send." And my wife looks over my shoulder and she said, "That's the creepiest fucking thing you could have ever sent a stranger." And I said, "No, it's not. It was a salutation. It was his name. It was a declarative sentence, and I signed it. That's not creepy. It's straight to the point." And she said, "Let me read it back to you in the creepy voice." "Hey, Julius, I wrote a song about you. BJ." Yeah, that's fucking creepy. I immediately regretted sending that. But luckily about 5 minutes went by and he responded. He responded with one sentence, but it was a sentence that let me know that he was totally cool with me using that one moment of absurdity from when he was 19 years old to make this song happen. But he said it in such a way that only Julius Hodge could say something. He just said, "That shit's fire, son." But instead of the word fire, he just used 3 flame emojis, which let me know he really, really, really dug the song. And so this is a song that I wrote back in 2014 about substance abuse and NC State basketball. And if you follow along closely enough, you'll understand why the two are directly correlated. How do I be a drifter since the day I turned 16? Watching my dad fix up cars and the smell of gasoline. I just wish that someone took the time to warn me about those evil things that lie beyond the trees. 'Cause when the wolves are hungry, the wolves will eat. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me. Yeah, I've never been any good at ever sticking around, but I'll always be the one that'll let you down. Seems like my feet start running before they hit the ground. Just wish they didn't always take me to the wrong side of town. 'Cause when the wolves are hungry, the wolves will eat. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me. Yeah, I can see the fire in their eyes, the blood on their teeth, and they can smell the fear in my bones and hear the shaking of my knees. The beautiful women, yeah, the sweet amphetamines. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me.